Get back to our forecast with meteorologist Casey Dorn.
Well, good morning, Bree. We had some heavy thunderstorms last night across the Pikes Peak region. This time lapse sent in by Quinton and Penrose. Thanks so much for sending this in. By the way, a lot of lightning with these storms and very heavy rainfall, and that's going to fuel another round of storms that we're going to track today. That timing, I'm thinking early afternoon along I-25, later in the afternoon to the early evening along the eastern plains. This is also where we have the best potential for stronger storms with 1 to 2 inch hail and 60 to 65 mile-per-hour wind gusts. We are also concerned with some isolated flooding potential where we see the heaviest thunderstorms, particularly where they set up where we saw strong and heavy rain yesterday. Now today's outlook for severe weather: 1 out of 5 marginal risk along I-25, slight risk 2 out of 5 this yellow area along the eastern plains. Just south of Colorado Springs, we saw well over 3 inches of rain yesterday. So this is an example of an area where if we get another strong thunderstorm today, we could be looking at some isolated flooding. Anywhere along and east of I-25 today is in a 1 out of 4 marginal risk for flash flooding. So something that we are going to be keeping an eye on heading into the afternoon. Here is today's setup. High pressure to the south, energy to the north. That energy rolling through our state today is what's going to give us today's storms. Out the door, temperature is very comfortable in the 50s along the Front Range corridor. Eastern Plains, upper 50s to lower 60s, 51 in Woodland Park, and 63 for you in Canyon City. Mainly clear skies this morning. That means a quick temperature warm up to the 70s and 80s by 10 a.m. in the Springs and Pueblo respectively. Temperatures will start to level off as cloud cover increases in the early afternoon. So timing things out here with Futurecast for the rest of your morning commute, we're looking at partly cloudy to mainly clear skies. A nice morning to get outside for a walk, jog, run, maybe play a round of golf. But by the lunch hour, we'll see scattered storms forming up over the mountains between 12 and 1 p.m. Some of them will move off the mountains and into the I-25 corridor. And I do expect a couple of these storms to be on the stronger side. They'll continue to push east as we head into the afternoon. This is where we have the best potential for strong to severe weather today. That'll continue into the later portions of the evening. Highs today, pretty similar to where they should be for this time of the year. 80s and 90s on the Front Range corridor, 70s up in our foothills. Tonight will be seasonable in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. On your Super 7-day forecast, we're keeping storms in the picture again tomorrow afternoon. High pressure dominates during the middle of the week, warming us up to the 90s on Wednesday and Thursday, which look mainly dry, potentially an isolated storm Thursday afternoon. So Wednesday will be a good outdoor day, generally before 11 a.m. and after 5 p.m. if you want to avoid the 90s. Cold front will knock us back into the 80s and 70s next weekend with a potential for better storm potential on Saturday. Pueblo, triple-digit heat returning on Wednesday and Thursday. Other than that, you're looking at the 90s for most of the week with isolated storms today and tomorrow and again on Friday and Saturday. Canyon City, 90s for most of the week, down to the 80s for the weekend with isolated storms returning Friday and Saturday, keeping you dry on Sunday, but we are watching a storm potential for Sunday. Woodland Park, you have isolated storm chances every day, more widespread today and tomorrow, and again Friday and Saturday.